Hi, this is Emily from It's a Wonderful Wig. If anybody wants to know, I am wearing Jon Renau's beautiful Zara Lite smart lace front hand-tied beautiful wig, and I just did a long review on my 3 different Zara Lite colors, and I will link that below, including this one, so you're free to go check that out after this, of course, because this is a very important topic. We are going to talk about wig addiction. Is your wig buying out of control? Do you have a wig addiction? What is a wig addiction? And what to do about it. So I am carrying around my Jon Renau comb whenever I wear Zara, when I'm just kind of sitting around hanging, having these chats. I do like to play with mine, and this is the Laguna blonde, in case you're wondering, in the California Blonde collection, but definitely check out that video. So wig addiction, wig addiction. Well, first of all, addiction is something we're all familiar with. We know what addiction is. We probably all have a coffee addiction. We probably have some kind of a food addiction, some kind of a chocolate or sugar or candy or bread or some kind of addiction of some kind. And I don't think addiction is a terrible, terrible thing all the time, because everybody has something that they're quote addicted to. Certainly we're not talking about drugs and alcohol, things that are causing people harm in this kind of a scenario, harm to others here. But I think that it's human nature to be obsessive about things we love, whether it's chocolate or food or coffee or candy or shopping or buying books or something that you just want. You know, we get good feelings. We get an increase in serotonin, in dopamine, when we engage in activities we love, that bring us pleasure. It's the whole Freud pain versus pleasure thing, right? So if buying books, going to Barnes & Noble, or if buying bags of Hershey's Kisses, I mean, certainly there's some physical stuff that does to your brain, but the new studies also show that just actions that don't involve consuming a substance like a food or something bad also does the same similar thing to your brain. So I think we all need a little bit of joy and fun and kick to our dopamine and serotonin, because times are hard and times are rough. So I don't want you to feel like if you're buying tons of wigs and you think you have a wig addiction, that there's something wrong or bad or abnormal about you, because it is human nature to be, you know, obsessive and infatuated with and wanting more and more and more of the thing that brings us so much joy and fun and happiness. And in this case, it's buying wigs and having awesome looking hair, right? Because we've never had it most of our lives, probably, for sure. So I just want to start by saying that. So if you have a habit of buying lots and lots of wigs, whether it's addiction or not, it doesn't mean it's a terrible thing, okay? So I would definitely say, so why do we obsessively and repeatedly and regularly buy more and more and more and more wigs when we either have so many and don't even wear or use them all very often, don't need them, and could really get by with just a couple, you know, especially if we have hair loss? Why do we do that? So for me, I've hated my hair my whole adult life. I always wanted this kind of hair, long, beautiful. I mean, my hair is naturally dark brown, which works great because this is a rooted blonde. I've wanted long, beautiful, straight, gorgeous locks like Jane Seymour and Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman, my whole life, and that's like my favorite show in the universe, and I love her hair. Oh my God, I want her hair. You know, that's all I've probably seen that show 15 times, and every time it's like, wow, I wish I had her hair. Is she wearing hair extensions? I'll bet she is. Now that I look back on it, I bet you, I'm pretty sure she's added hair extensions in there somewhere. But maybe even a wig, I don't know. But I've always hated my hair, and so, you know, we spend a lot of money, and I've been always lazy also about doing it and going to salons and stuff, and it costs so much. When you have longer hair, and mine is thick and naturally curly and bush-like, and then as I go older and I have lupus, it gets thinner on top, and now premenopause, and now it's thinner on top, but it's all thick from here down. And it's just like, just to get it like this would take 2.5 hours in a salon, like let's say like this, but brown, my normal color. product, flat iron, blow dry, round brush, product, sitting there for 2 hours, and then it looks good for like 1 day. And there's no way in hell I am going to do that at home. I'm just not doing it. And it would never look that good. It would definitely never look like this. That's for sure. So I think when I first discovered wigs and started, trying a few different ones, and then, first brown, then blondes and reds and gingers, I think that I probably entered a period of wig addiction early on, but it was, I want to reframe that. I want to reframe it from myself, or you for yourself calling it a wig addiction, and reframe it to look at it like an investment in self-discovery, an investment in building, evolving, and discovering your identity. Because for me, and I'm going to make another video talking about my whole wig experience journey, and show my hair underneath and all that. But for me, my whole life, it never occurred to me I could have different hair, different color, different, super short, or like, you're stuck with what you got and you try to make it look as good as you can, sometimes shorter, sometimes longer, and that's different products. That's the way it is for most of our lives, when we don't even think about wigs as an option, especially if we still have hair. So I think for me, when I started trying on different styles and colors and cuts, I was like obsessed with the fun of it, for one. Again, those positive, pleasurable, serotonin, dopamine inducing feelings. It was the most fun I've ever had trying on different kind of wigs and colors. And I mean, I was buying wigs left and right, QVC, HSN, wigs.com, like just trying, and probably very few, like originally I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna pick the ones I like and send the rest back, but it was almost hard to send any back because I liked them all. And of course I had to pick some, but for me, it was like looking in the mirror, trying, like this blonde. Never in my whole stinking life did I ever think, much less consider or wonder or ponder, if I could be a blonde. There's no way in hell, even if someone suggested it, I would laugh. I would say, yeah, right, I'm a dark brunette. You'd have to bleach the hell out of my hair and it would look wrong. It wouldn't look right with my skin tone and, all this stuff. Never occurred to me. Never, no. Not only did it occur to me, I just wouldn't have wanted to. I would have thought it would look absurd. And, excuse me, so when I first tried my first wig with blonde in it was a brown, and it had blonde highlights. And that was a huge step. It was like, whoa, like my face is brighter. Like, wow, like, and then I got another blonde with a little more blonde, or I got something with red and blonde. Like, every time it was like a fascinating exploration, like a science experiment. Like, I was just, I had to, like, I had to look at myself and look at myself in this hair and try it and move it and identify how I felt physically, identify how I felt mentally and emotionally, try to find out who I am, who else I could be. I think that buying wigs and trying on wigs and adding to your wig collection, instead of looking at like an addiction, I think that it could be viewed as, I mean, there is an essence of role-playing to it. I mean, the little girls, we dress up in clothes, we fairy princess costumes, and we go into our mom's closet and try to put on a little makeup or steal her good shoes or play with her purses, when we're little. And then when we're teenagers, we want to borrow that stuff, and on and on. And, role-playing, we role-playing with dolls and giving voices to inanimate objects, and characters with toys. I think trying on wigs and buying and using different wigs is a form of role-playing, which has an imaginative and creative aspect to it. Because we're trying different things, we're experimenting, we're seeing how we can do the hair and style the hair and how we can blend it with our makeup and with our clothes. And there's a lot of creativity and experimenting with it. And so it's a combination, certainly of the role-playing and also and role-playing is fun. Role-playing is fun. Adding to our wardrobe is fun. It's like when let's say you got $1,000 shopping spree to Macy's or the mall, or $5,000 for Macy's, woohoo, yeah, right. But let's just say, oh, I'm going to vamp my whole wardrobe, and I'm going to grab my whole wardrobe and throw everything out and get all new clothes. You would spend several days in there trying on everything you could want, from like the fur coats that you never would have bought before. Okay, well, maybe you'd have to have a bigger gift card than that, but, or a winning than that, but you know what I mean? Like maybe a denim jacket or a leather jacket or fashion jeans or stuff you wouldn't normally buy. Like you'd experiment and you'd have so much fun trying them all on and seeing how you look in the mirror and identifying how you feel and how this changes who you are, you know, like for the first time. Like I don't wear jeans. I've never worn jeans. I hate jeans. Maybe in the 1980s I wore jeans. I don't even know. I'm almost 50 now, but I hate jeans. I usually wear skirts or dresses. Sometimes I'll wear athletic stretch pants or leggings, but you know, when I was recently kind of revamping my wardrobe during COVID and I had gained weight like everyone else, and I'm like, you know, if I'm going to be plus size, I'm just going to make the most of it. I'm going to have fantastic clothes and great hair and blah, 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 and on and on. And I started buying a bunch of new clothes from QVC and HSN, all kinds of clothes. And I got a few pairs of jeans, a couple of denim jackets like that match, some were in fashion colors, trying them on. And it was like me trying to discover who I am now, who I was before, in the, you know, in the 80s, in the 90s, in the 2000s, when I was a single mom, you know, when I was a military wife, when I was a college student, is different than who I am now. But I'm not all, you know, we evolve, we change, and sometimes we're living out like we're the same person, doing the same routine, doing the same job, but really we've changed. And sometimes we need to come up with our new identity. We need to figure out who we are now. You know, I have my last kid is at home. He's 24. He's in graduate school. He still lives at home, and I'm single. So, you know, I'm dreading when I'm going to be alone when he moves out. But you know, I'm coming more and more the last couple of years to, it's time for me to, it's all about me now. My other son is grown and married. I have my first grandchild on the way, and they moved to a different city. So it's like now, the whole single parent and the college teacher I was before for all these years and being a writer and all these things, like now and I was homeschooling, I was doing all these things my whole life, and now it's like I'm a completely older, different person now, and I don't even know what that is or where I'm going. And I think part of trying on different wigs for me, looking at how I look and how I feel, and I think a lot of that was coming up with a new identity. Who am I now? Am I a more mature woman? Am I a fun, spiky, sassy, plus size woman that wears jeans and heels? Am I like, I'm 6 feet tall, so wearing heels is not really an option, but it could be if I was like really like I want to be like, you know, and I'm Scandinavian, which is odd that I have brown hair, but you know, Scandinavian women are tall, and I bet some of them wear high heels, but like I could explore by doing that. But what I'm saying with the wigs, you guys, is there's the role-playing aspect, there's the fun, creative aspect, there's the self-discovery, the building your identity aspect, and I think part of that fuels the, I don't even want to say impulsive wig buying, because I don't know that it's impulsive. The continuous desire to purchase more and more wigs, especially if you notice you're buying a lot of different kinds and shapes and colors, you are on some kind of a journey, I think, to discover who you are at this phase in life. And your hair tells a lot about you. It has a lot to do with how you feel about yourself, how you think others feel about you, has a lot to do with your confidence, your self-esteem, has a lot to do with how you think about yourself, how you view yourself. So hair is a big part of your psychological, emotional, and mental health and your self-identity. And so, you know, now if you're this person who's like, I know that I'm like a sassy blonde, I'm only going to be a sassy blonde, but I have 50 sassy blonde wigs and I want more sassy blonde wigs, but they're all going to be the same color, then we might be looking at more, okay, we might be looking at more of a little bit of an addiction here. And that's when I might say, well, you know, you might want to look at what else is missing. Are you lonely? Are you single? Get it? Don't have any sex life? I don't know what's going on here. Did you like experience a death, or do you hate your job, or are you kind of neglected, or are you covering up some kind of other emotional pain with the buying of the sort of somewhat of the same thing, the exact same blondes and type of wigs over and over and over and over and over? That might be when you look at something else. But for the most part, the women that I know that follow me that have 20, 30, 40, 50 wigs, they're a huge variety. And I don't think that's such a terrible thing. If you can afford it, if you're not putting yourself into debt. Now, I'm going to tell you straight up that when I can't say a lot in this video because I don't know who I know that in my life who might see this. Hopefully nobody. When I first started discovering buying wigs and trying all these wigs, fortunately HSN has a 30-day return policy with wigs. You can cut the tags off and do whatever. They'll take them back. QVC will take stuff back for months. They say they have a 30-day return policy. I've returned stuff 6, 9, 12 months down the road. As long as you can print a return label off your order history, no questions asked. Like, seriously, I've been a customer for 10 years there. So it's easy to buy a bunch and send a bunch back. Wigs.com, you have 30 days. I love Wigs.com. I don't take the tags off when I'm trying it on, trying it out a few times, but there are no questions asked, real easy returns and stuff. But I'm just saying that when I first started buying, yeah, I sent a lot back. I also kept a lot, but I discovered Affirm, which is a payment plan that Wigs.com has for your purchases, and no credit based. And so I real quickly had 5 or 6 different orders on Wigs.com over the period of maybe 2 months with several wigs for each. And before you know it, you can get the little Affirm app and it'll tell you how many, it'll show you all the different quote loans, even though they're not credit based, like that you have, all the different purchases, the amounts, who the vendor is, and each one has a monthly payment plan. And when you go to, so let's say you want to buy $1,500 worth of wigs, and you go to check out and pay with Affirm, it'll give you what you're approved for, or it'll give you somewhere between like $500 and apparently in my case $7,000 or $8,000, and is what they'll qualify you for, which is kind of like I wish they hadn't done that, but temptation city here. But before you know it, you make 6 or 7 different purchases, you have 6 or 7 different payments, but they'll give you anywhere, you can choose between 6 months, 12 months, and 18 months, and each one has a little more interest. It'll tell you the exact amount up front. If you do the 18 months, you're paying $250 in interest. If you do 6 months, you might have 0 interest. And so, but things like that make it real easy to buy a whole bunch of wigs if you're trying out and experimenting. I did that. So there, I had yeah, well, use your imagination. But that's, I dropped the hint already, but I did that. A lot of stuff did go back because it just didn't fit right. I didn't like the color. But I can tell you, and I'm still buying wigs because I like to review them and I want to help other women on this journey, which is why I have this channel. But I can honestly say that the discovery of wigs for fun, for fashion, for cosmetic purposes has been the most fun I have ever had. And I really mean that. I mean, I've been to Europe, I've been on cruises to Alaska and the Caribbean, I've done all kinds of things in my life, but I mean, I did a 9-country European tour of 4 weeks gone with my son when he was 11 years old, my older son, and buying wigs is more fun than that. Like, I really tell you that being almost 50 years old, a whole life of hair I don't like, and especially recently since I discovered wigs, and I went back and I have like 7,000 photos on my iPhone. I was scrolling back 10, 12 years. Every time you get a new iPhone, it transfers your photos. I was looking back, every photo of me and video, my hair looked terrible. It was always just plunked up in a bun, little gray hair, just plunked in a bun, or it never had style. I've always hated my hair, and I never wanted to put the time into it. And there were periods I had some stressful events and hormone problems. I've had some shedding, the whole fluvium thing off and on after some surgeries in my life. But I can tell you that discovering wigs has been the greatest thing that's happened to me. It's the most fun I've ever had. Buying, trying on, sharing, returning, wearing them. I have never in my life felt so good. And that's after gaining about 30 pounds during COVID. I'm just gonna, no holds barred, say it like it is. Part of that is I went on a new lupus medicine that causes weight gain during COVID. Also, bad timing. I was teaching one time during COVID. My school closed down. But you know, I can say that even now wearing like a size 2X and being 6 feet tall and not being happy with any else of how I look, the hair makes it all okay. Like it's fun, and if it makes you happy and it's fun, if you want to buy more wigs and you're on a budget, you don't have to buy brand new wigs. You can do a loan if you want. I don't want to encourage anyone to get in trouble with their spouse. If you have the money and you want to pay for it, if you want to just buy, if you don't want to go into any kind of debt and just only buy the ones you can pay for in full, I'm going to buy one per payday. I'm going to buy one per month or two per month. Every month on the first of the month, I get to pick two I want to buy. Come up with some kind of a structure and a boundary for yourself that you set. I know ladies who buy all their wigs on eBay, secondhand. I don't do this. I haven't done this. I feel weird about putting on a wig someone else has worn. That's just me. I don't know why, but I can afford, you know, I'm in a position, fortunately, where I can afford to buy a lot of brand new wigs. So even if without the loans, you know, sure I could fork out the cash, but it's like I just don't like to, because I know I might want to return it. So anyway, that's what I have to say about wig addiction. If you know, I'm not a professional in that regard, but I'm just giving you my perspective honestly and genuinely. I think the reason women think they have a wig addiction, or maybe do, is because of how wonderful it is. We want more of the things in life that make us feel good. We want more of the things in life that make us feel beautiful and happy and content and brings us fun. And, you know, we're trained as young girls to look beautiful, to have pretty clothes, to wear makeup, to have pierced ears, to get our hair done. Well, with wigs, you just plunk it on and you have salon type hair, and like you probably never had that most of your life, and it's like a wonderful feeling. We want more. Our brains want more of those wonderful feelings, and so that's not bad or wrong. It's just, you just have to be sure that you're budgeting for it. And if it's causing you a problem in your relationship with somebody, well, I can't advise you on that because I'm single. I don't have that problem, which is kind of a perk. You know, you can like buy all the wigs you want and no one's gonna say anything. However, my son, I get a giant eye roll every time he comes home from his teaching internship and he sees a box from somewhere. Or I have, like, he hasn't seen this one yet. When he comes home today, he'll come in the door, he'll be like, he'll stop, he'll stare, and he'll roll his eyes, and he'll go on about to his room or something. So, you know, whatever. But hey, you know, don't bite the hand that feeds you. That's my little piece of advice there. All right. Thanks, everybody, for watching. I hope this helps somebody, but I enjoy talking to you. And please check out my review of the Zara Lite on 3 different colors. I will link below.